Hello everyone, I'm Claire from Susan's family. Today I'll teach you how to make a Tuanhua reversible poncho from the Dunhuang series. This poncho consists of the main piece and accessories. The main piece includes 4 identical motifs, which are joined together using the join as you go method. The accessories include edging and tassels. Start by crocheting and joining the main piece, then attach the accessories. First, let's learn the crochet method for the motif. Here's the finished product. It begins with a magic ring. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise. You'll need to switch colors while crocheting. Several stitches will be applicated, all of which are demonstrated in the chart. I won't list them all here. Next, please watch me demonstrate the specific crochet method. Before we start crocheting, let's learn the basic posture for crocheting. For your convenience to see more clearly, I will use cotton yarn for the demonstration. The colors are random. For specific yarn, color schemes, and hook sizes, please refer to the detail page and the paper charts of our product. Let's start with the adjustable magic ring. Pick up the yarn tail with your right hand. Wrap it twice around your left index finger. Now there are 3 loops on the index finger. Use your right thumb and index finger to pinch where the loops overlap. Remove it, then wrap the yarn tail once around your left little finger. Pass through between the middle finger and index finger. Transfer the loop to between your left middle finger and thumb. Pick up the hook with your right hand. Insert it into the loop. Position the hook to the left of the yarn. Yarn over counterclockwise. Draw the yarn through. Now there is 1 loop on the hook. Continue with 1 chain to secure. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through the loop. 1 chain is completed. Pull tight. The magic ring is now complete. Next, we will work on our 1. Start with 1 chain. This will serve as the beginning chain for the single crochet. This chain does not count as a stitch. Then work the single crochets into the ring. Insert into the magic ring. Yarn over, draw the yarn through. There are 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over again, and draw through once all the loops on your hook. 1 single crochet is completed. At the top right of the single crochet there is a V-shaped pair of strands. This is the stitch of a single crochet. Continue crocheting single crochets. Insert into the magic ring. Yarn over, draw the yarn through. Yarn over again, and draw through once both loops on your hook. The second single crochet is completed. You need to work 8 single crochets in our 1. Continue until you complete all the remaining single crochets. 3, 4, 7, 8. After that, close the magic ring. There are 2 loops in total. First, gently pull the starting tail of the yarn. 1 loop will be moving. Tighten the moving loop. There is 1 loop left. Pull tight the yarn tail directly. This way, the ring is closed. Then, work a slip stitch into the first single crochet stitch of our 1. That will finish with a slip stitch. It's on the left side of the yarn tail. At the second chain. 1, 2. It's this big braid. If you really can't tell, you can also count start from the last stitch backward. 1, 2, 7, 8. It's still this stitch. Insert. Yarn over, draw the yarn through, and draw through once all the loops on the hook. Slip stitch complete. This is the braid formed by the slip stitch. It does not count as a stitch. You need to tighten it to avoid crocheting extra stitches later. R1 is now complete. Move on to R2. Start with 3 chains as the beginning chain. Into the stitch below the beginning chain, crochet an incomplete double crochet. Yarn over, insert into the stitch. Place the starting tail above the hook. Hide the tails as you go. Yarn over, draw the yarn through. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops. Now there are 2 loops remaining on the hook. This is an incomplete double crochet. Then work 1 more stitch. Yarn over, insert into the stitch. Pull the yarn through. Yarn over, draw through the first 2 loops. This is the second incomplete double crochet. Now there are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through all loops on your hook. Treat these stitches as a DC3 bobble. We'll call it a bobble from now on. Next, make 3 chains for spacing. Work 1 bobble in the adjacent stitch on the left side. Start by making 3 incomplete double crochets in this stitch. One, 2, 3. There are 4 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through all the loops on your hook in one go. That completes 1 bobble. Then, chain 3 for spacing. Work 1 bobble in the next stitch on the left. Let's take a look at the piece. The pattern for this round of crochet is to work a bobble into each single crochet stitch from the previous round. Chain 3 in between each bobble. Continue working all the way down following this pattern for the entire round. After completing, you can check the stitch count. Counting the beginning chain as well, there should be a total of 8 bobbles. Join with a slip stitch into the first bobble. This creates a V-shaped braid. Pull tight. For the next round, switch colors to continue crocheting. Here, cut the yarn. Secure with one chain. Leave a 5 cm tail before cutting the yarn. Pull tight. The starting tail has already been woven in one round. You can cut it directly. That completes our 2. You can see that the texture on the right side of the piece is clearer. The wrong side appears more blurred. From now on, continue crocheting on the right side of the piece. Move on to our 3. Take the new yarn in the corresponding color. I'm choosing colors randomly here. For specifics, please refer to the paper charts. Tie the yarn tail into a slip knot. Leave about 5 cm of the tail. Hang the yarn properly with your left hand. On the left side of the tail, join the yarn at the chain space. Insert into the large space below the chain. Hook out the slip knot. Adjust the loop size. Pay attention that the knot should not pass through the piece. Joining the yarn is done. Then, at this chain, crochet 1 bobble. Start with 3 beginning chains. Next, make 2 incomplete double crochets. As you crochet, weave in all the ends. Yarn over and draw through all loops once. 1 bobble is completed, including the beginning chains. Crochet 4 chains as a spacer. In the same large chain space, crochet 1 bobble. Next, in the left chain space, crochet 1 bobble. Four chains. Then in the same chain space, crochet 1 bobble. Let's take a look at the piece. At each chain space, crochet 2 bobbles. There are 4 chains between these 2 bobbles. Between the adjacent chain spaces with bobbles, there are no chain intervals. Continue downward following this pattern, and finish crocheting this round. After completing the last bobble, slip stitch into the first bobble. Join with a slip stitch. Pull tight. Fasten off normally. Our 3 is now complete. Next, we'll crochet our 4. Take the corresponding color yarn to continue. Here, I'm choosing colors randomly. Make a slip knot. First, at the position of the yarn tail, join the yarn on this stitch. Then, make one chain as your beginning chain. Crochet one single crochet into this stitch. As you work, weave in all the ends. Next, locate the large chain space on the left. Work 1/2 double crochet, yarn over, insert into the large chain space. Yarn over again, draw the yarn through. There will be 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over once more, and draw through all the loops on your hook. 1/2 double crochet is now completed. Next, work 1 double crochet. In the large chain space, work 1 incomplete double crochet. Yarn over, and pull through these 2 loops. 1 double crochet is now done. Then, work another double crochet, begin with 1 incomplete double crochet. Yarn over, pull through all the loops on your hook. The second double crochet is complete. Then, make 2 chains for spacing. In this chain space, work 2 double crochets. And 1/2 double crochet, yarn over, insert, yarn over again, draw the yarn through, yarn over once more, pull the yarn through all 3 loops. Another 1/2 double crochet is complete. On this large chain space, treat the crocheted stitch as one pattern. Next, on the left side, at the second bobble stitch, which is the middle braid, between the 2 bobbles, work 1 single crochet. Then, in the large chain space on the left side, work another pattern. That is, work 1/2 double crochet. Two double crochets. Two chains. 2 double crochets. And 1/2 double crochet. Moving downward, on the left of these 2 bobbles, work a single crochet into the bobble stitch. Work a pattern into the large chain space. Complete this round. Finish with the last pattern. Join with a slip stitch into the first single crochet. Pull tight. Fasten off normally. R4 is now completed. Move on to R5. Take the corresponding yarn, make a slip knit. Join the yarn at the stitch of the yarn tail. Chain 4 to start. Then, in the same stitch, work a TR3 bobble. Yarn over twice first. Insert into the stitch. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. There are 4 loops on the hook. Yarn over on after another. Pull the yarn through the first 2 loops. Repeat this step twice. 1, 2. This is an incomplete treble crochet. Work another incomplete treble crochet. Yarn over twice. Insert into the stitch. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over on after another. Pull the yarn through 2 loops. Repeat this step twice. 1, 2. Another incomplete treble crochet is done. Work 1 more stitch. Now there are 4 loops on your hook. That's 3 incomplete treble crochets. Yarn over. Draw through all the loops on your hook. This TR3 bobble is now completed. Work 4 chains next. In the same stitch, work 1 slip stitch to join. Then make 4 more chains for spacing. On the left side of the pattern, in the large chain space at the top, work 1 single crochet and 4 chains. Next work 1 slip stitch in the left single crochet stitch. Then chain 4 to start. In the same stitch, work 1 TR3 bobble. First, make 3 incomplete treble crochets. Then yarn over and draw through all 4 loops. Chain 4 for spacing again. Then work 1 slip stitch in the same stitch. Next, chain 4. At the top of the left pattern, work 1 single crochet in the chain space. Chain 4 for spacing. Let's take a look at the piece. Consider these 2 slip stitches, 2 groups of chains, and the TR3 bobble as 1 petal. This round involves working the petal into the single crochet stitches from the previous round. At the top of the pattern, work 1 single crochet between the single crochet and the petals. Chain 4 for spacing. Continue all the way down following this pattern to complete this round. After finishing the last 4 chains, in the stitch below the first petal, join with a slip stitch. Pull tight. Fasten off normally. On the wrong side of the piece, hide all yarn tails following the texture. You can hide a few more times, then trim off the excess. Our 5 is now completed. Move on to our 6. Take the corresponding yarn. Start at the top of any petal. Join the yarn at this V-shaped braid. Make 1 chain to start. Work 1 single crochet in this stitch. Then make 4 chains as a spacer. Work 1 single crochet in the left chain space. Chain 6 for spacing. In the left chain space, work 1 single crochet and chain 4. On the top of the next petal, work 1 single crochet. Take a look at the piece. This round involves working single crochets on the top of each petal and in the middle 2 chain spaces. Join with chains between these single crochets on both sides of the petals. Make 4 chains for spacing. Between chain spaces, make 6 chains correspondingly. Continue following this pattern. Finish this round. Once completed, join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet. Pull tight. Fasten off normally. Hide all the tails. Our 6 is now complete. Move on to our 7. Start at any one of the CH6 spaces. Join the corresponding yarn. Make 1 chain as your beginning chain. Work 1 single crochet into this large chain space. Chain 1 for spacing. Work 4 double crochets in the left chain space. Chain 2 as a spacer. Work 4 double crochets in the left chain space. Chain 1 for spacing. In the CH6 space, work 1 single crochet and 1 chain. On the 2 chain spaces on the left side, work 4 double crochets in each. Chain 2 as a spacer in between. After completing, chain 1 for spacing. In the CH6 space on the left side, work 1 single crochet and chain 1. Let's take a look at the piece. Consider these 2 groups of double crochets and 2 chains as the fan pattern. This single crochet and 2 chains can be seen as a connection. In this round, correspondingly work double crochets and chains at the fan patterns. At the connection points, work single crochets and chains. Continue working following this pattern to complete the round. After completing, slip stitch into the first single crochet. Pull tight. Fasten off normally. Hide all the tails neatly. R7 is completed. Next, refer to the chart. Compare the dimensions of the piece. If it differs significantly from the reference size on the chart, you need to adjust your tension, or switch to a different hook size and crochet again. Move on to R8. Start at any single crochet of the connection point. Join the corresponding yarn. On this stitch, work a DC5 popcorn 1. We'll call this simply the popcorn from now on. Start with 3 chains as the beginning chain. This counts as 1 double crochet, then work 4 more double crochets in this stitch. Temporarily remove the hook. Then insert it back into the 3rd chain of the beginning chain. And the loop that was left. Next, pull the loop through the chain. Pay attention. When crocheting, make sure the double crochet protrudes forward. Crochet 1 chain. 1 DC5 popcorn 1. Is now completed? The braid above is the stitch of the popcorn. Then work 4 chains as a spacer. In the large chain space in the middle of the fan pattern, crochet 1 double crochet. 4 chains. And 1 double crochet. Then crochet 4 more chains. On the next connecting single crochet, make 1 popcorn. Begin by making 5 double crochets. Temporarily remove the hook. Then insert it into the first stitch and the loop that was left. Pull the loop through the first stitch. Pay attention, don't forget to make the double crochets pop out. When crocheting popcorn later, all double crochets should stand out in front. Then chain 1. The second popcorn is now completed. Then work 4 chains as a spacer. In the chain space of the fan pattern, work 1 double crochet. Chain 4. And work 1 double crochet. Then chain 4 as a spacer. Let's take a look at the piece. This round consists of working 2 groups of chains and 1 popcorn. In the connecting single crochet, at the chain space of the fan pattern, work 2 double crochets and chain 4. Continue working in this pattern all the way down to complete the round. Finally, slip stitch. Join into the first popcorn. Pull tight. Fasten off normally. And hide all the tails neatly. R8 is now completed. Move on to R9. Locate any fan pattern. Join the corresponding yarn at the chain space. Make 3 chains as the beginning chain. Work 8 double crochets into this large chain space. As you work, gently weave in the yarn tail from joining. Counting the beginning chain, that makes 9 double crochets total, in the fan pattern. Next, at the left chain space, work 1 single crochet. Chain 5. Then work 1 single crochet into the popcorn. Next, chain 5 as a spacer. Work 1 single crochet in the left chain space. Continue by working 9 double crochets in the fan pattern, working single crochets and chains in the connection point. Complete this round. Finish with the last single crochet. Insert into the third chain of the beginning chain. Pick up these 2 strands of yarn. Slip stitch. Pull tight. Fasten off normally. Our 9 is now completed. Move on to our 10. Start from the previous round. Join the yarn at the beginning chain. This is also the insertion point for the slip stitch. Start with 3 chains as the beginning chain. Chain 1. Work 1 double crochet in the adjacent stitch on the left. Crochet while weaving in the yarn tail from joining. Chain 1 as a spacer. Continue working down with the pattern of 1 double crochet, 1 chain, finish crocheting the fan pattern. After completing, work 1 single crochet in the left chain space. Chain 5 as a spacer. Work another single crochet in the left chain space. The connection point is now done. Continue following this pattern. Crochet all the way to finish this round. After finishing the last single crochet, slip stitch into the third chain. From the beginning chain, pull tight. Fasten off normally. R10 is complete. It's time to crochet R11. Work a DC2 bobble on the left side of the yarn tail. At the chain space, join the yarn. Start with 3 chains as the beginning chain. Work 1 double crochet into this large chain space. Treat these 2 stitches as a DC2 bobble. Then work 2 chains. In the large chain space on the left side, work a DC2 bobble. First, make 2 incomplete double crochets. 1, 2. There are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over and draw through all loops once. 1 DC2 bobble is now completed. Work 2 chains for spacing. In the chain space, work 1 DC2 bobble. Follow this pattern. Crochet all the way down through the fan pattern. After finishing, work 1 single crochet at the connecting chain space. Continue according to the pattern. At the fan pattern, work the DC2 bobble and chains. And work a single crochet at the connection chain space. Complete this round. After finishing, slip stitch into the first bobble. Pull tight. Fasten off normally. Hide the tails neatly. R11 is now completed. Move on to R12. Add any fan pattern. Join the yarn in the middle large chain space. Start with 4 chains. As you work, hang the yarn tail over the hook. Carrying the yarn tail to this position. Then, At this position, work 2 incomplete treble crochets. Yarn over, and draw through all the loops on your hook. 1 TR3 bobble is now completed. Leave the yarn tail for joining, above this bobble. Then, chain 5 as a spacer. In the adjacent large chain space on the left side, work 1 DC3 bobble. Following the chart, in the large chain space corresponding to the fan pattern, crochet the corresponding stitch, chain 5 between each stitch. Finish crocheting this entire round. Complete the last 5 chains. In the first bobble, join with a slip stitch. Pull tight. Our 1-2 is now completed. You can see that the piece now forms a square shape. This TR3 bobble creates the corner of the square. The remaining stitches and chains form the sides of the square. Move on to our 1-3. Chain 4 to start. Which counts as 1 treble crochet. Then, in the large chain space on the left side, crochet 1 treble crochet. Start with an incomplete treble crochet. Weave in the yarn tail as you work. Yarn over again, and draw through all loops on your hook. 1 treble crochet is now done. Crochet another treble crochet. Start with an incomplete treble crochet. Yarn over, and draw through all the loops on your hook. Another treble crochet is now completed. Crochet another treble crochet. Then work 3 double crochets. Next, on this bobble, crochet 1 double crochet. Continue downward, refer to the chart, crochet the corresponding stitches along the side of the square shape. At each corner, correspondingly make 1 treble crochet, 2 chains, and 1 treble crochet. The method is relatively simple. Everyone can follow this pattern on their own. To crochet the remaining positions of this round, after completing it, slip stitch into the beginning chain. Pull tight. Our 1-3 is now completed. Next, move on to our 1-4. Make 1 chain as your beginning chain. On the braid of the beginning chain below, make 1 single crochet. Then make 1 chain. Skip 1 stitch. Start from the second stitch, and work 2 single crochets evenly. Let's take a look at the piece. The stitch appears as 2 strands of yarn. The strand closer to you is the front loop of the stitch. The strand farther from you is the back loop of the stitch. Pick up the back loop of the left stitch. Work 1 slip stitch. Then make 3 chains. Next, pick up the front loop of this stitch. Work 1 DC3 bobble. After completing it, make 3 more chains. On the back loop of this stitch, slip stitch. Treat these stitches as one bean. Next, on the left stitch, evenly work 2 single crochets. Work 1 chain. Skip 1 stitch, then work 2 more single crochets. After that, on the left stitch, work 1 bean. First, on the back loop, work 1 slip stitch. Chain 3 as beginning chains. Then, on the front loop, work 1 bobble. After completing, chain 3. On the back loop, work a slip stitch. Another bean is done. Let's take a look at the piece. Work 1 bean at an interval of 2 groups of single crochets and 1 chain. Following this pattern, complete this side of the piece. Stop before the corresponding chain space at the corner. Now we're at this position. Work 1 single crochet into the large chain space. Then chain 3. Work 1 bobble into the large chain space. After completing, chain 3 again. Work 1 single crochet in this chain space. This corner is now done. Following this method, Complete the remaining sides and corners of the piece. Finish with this last corner. Join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet. Pull tight. Fasten off normally. Hide the tails on your own. Our 1-4 is now completed. Move on to our 1-5. On any side. At the right side of the previous round. In front of the first chain. Pick up the corresponding stitch from our 1-3 and join the yarn. Then crochet 1 popcorn. Start with 3 chains as the beginning chain. While crocheting, carry the joining tail to the top of the beginning chain. Next, make 4 double crochets in the same stitch. Pay attention while crocheting. The chain from our 1-4 should always remain at the back. After completing the popcorn, continue with 2 chains for spacing. In the previous round, at this bean, crochet 1 BPSC. Move the hook from left to right. Insert it behind the bobble. Underneath these 2 chains, yarn over, and draw the yarn through. Yarn over again, and draw through the 2 loops on hook. 1 BPSC is now completed. Crochet 2 chains on the left side, in front of the chain space. Pick the corresponding stitch from our 1-3. Crochet 1 popcorn. After completing it, crochet 2 chains. On the next bean, crochet 1 BPSC. Move the hook from left to right. Insert behind the bobble. Beneath the 2 chains, yarn over, draw the yarn through. Yarn over again, draw through the 2 loops on hook. Another BPSC is now complete. Let's take a look at the piece. This side of the piece involves working a popcorn. By picking up the stitch from our 1-3 front of the chain and working a BPSC at the bean. Chain 2 as a spacer between the two stitches. Continue all the way down following this method. Finish crocheting this side of the piece. When you reach the corner, work 3 chains. At this corner bean, work 1 BPSC. Then chain 3 as a spacer. The corner is now completed. Continue following this method. Finish crocheting the remaining sides and corners. Once completed, slip stitch into the first popcorn. Tighten the yarn. Our 1-5 is now completed. The method for our 1-6 and our 1-7 is relatively simple. Let's take a look at the finished product. For our 1-6, in each chain space, correspondingly make 3 single crochets. On the BPSC of the corner, work 1 single crochet. Then chain 2 and work 1 single crochet. While crocheting, don't forget to weave in the yarn tails. For our 1-7 space, every 5 single crochets apart. On the single crochet located to the left side of each popcorn in our 1-5, work a group of 3 double crochets. Chain 2, and work a shell pattern with 3 double crochets. At the corner, correspondingly make the shell pattern. The crocheting method is relatively simple. Everyone can refer to the chart. Finish these rounds. I will skip the demonstration. Before working our 1-8, you need to carry the yarn across. Let me demonstrate with this sample. First, work 1 slip stitch in each of the 2 double crochet stitches on the left side. Then, work 1 slip stitch in the left chain space. This carries the yarn tail to this position. Chain 1 is your beginning chain. Work 1 single crochet in this chain space. Chain 6. Continue along the side of the piece, working single crochets and chains. At the corner, work a shell pattern. Finish the round. Once done, join with a slip stitch in the first single crochet. Tighten the yarn. Fasten off normally. Our 1/8 is now completed. Next, for our 1/9 along the side of the piece, work 6 double crochets into each chain space. At the corner, continue with a shell pattern. For our 2/0, correspondingly work double crochets and chains. For our 2/1, correspondingly work single crochets and chains. The crochet method is relatively simple. Everyone can refer to the chart. After completing these rounds, I will not demonstrate further. For the final round, work X-shaped treble crochet with chain 2 in between. This is abbreviated as X-shaped TR. I'll demonstrate the technique. With this small sample, the color scheme is random. To make the crocheted effect more beautiful, we use the direct crochet method here. Join the yarn at any corner. Tie the yarn end into a loose knot. Insert into the slip knit. Adjust the loop size. Hold the yarn with your left hand, then yarn over twice. Use your right middle finger to press the loop. Find any chain space. On the corner of the piece, insert into the large space. Yarn over, draw the yarn through. Yarn over again, pull through the first 2 loops. This is an incomplete double crochet. Now in the same chain space, work another incomplete double crochet. There are 4 loops on the hook now. Yarn over. Pull through the first 2 loops again. Repeat this 3 times. Move on to chain 2. Yarn over again. Insert into the crossing position below. This 2 loops that are brought together like this. Work 1 double crochet. 1 X-shaped TR is now complete. It looks like an X formed by 4 double crochets crossing. Chain 2 for spacing. Work another X-shaped TR, yarn over twice. Insert into the same large chain space. Yarn over, draw the yarn through, yarn over again, pull through the first 2 loops on the hook. This is the first incomplete double crochet. Yarn over, pick up the next chain space on the left side. Work another incomplete double crochet. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops on the hook again. Repeat 3 times. Work 2 chains. Yarn over. Insert into the crossing position below. Pick up the adjacent 2 loops. Work 1 double crochet. Another X-shaped TR is now complete. This is the first X-shaped TR on this side. Then work 2 chains for spacing. Pick up the next 2 adjacent chain spaces on the left side. Work 1 X-shaped TR respectively. Continue crocheting X-shaped TR in sequence. Between each X-shaped TR, work 2 chains. Finish crocheting this side. Now we're at the corner. At the corresponding chain space of this corner, work another X-shaped TR. Then crochet 2 chains for spacing. Pick up the chain at this corner and the large chain space adjacent to the left. Work 1 X-shaped TR. This completes the corner. Continue in this way. Finish crocheting the remaining sides and corners. After completing the last 2 chains, slip stitch into the first X-shaped TR by picking up the double crochet on its right side. Pull tight. Fasten off normally. Hide the tails neatly. This completes the final round. Up to this point, the crocheting method for the motif has been fully explained. Everyone can follow this method to crochet the other 3 motifs. I will not repeat the demonstration. After all the motifs are completed, connect them using the join as you go method. This method does not require breaking the yarn during the joining process, making it more convenient for crocheting. Let's take a look at the diagram. Place the 4 motifs in a circle. Start from the top of the motif on the right side, and join as you go along the arrow direction. Finally, crochet around all the pieces, completing 1 round for the sides that are not joined. No new stitches are used. Please watch as I demonstrate the specific crochet method. I will use these small samples for the demonstration. The sample motifs have fewer stitches and rounds. This is just to demonstrate the joining method. When you work on it yourself, use complete motifs for joining. First, crochet the first motif. Take out the corresponding yarn. The color scheme is random here. For more details, please refer to the paper charts. Make a slip knit with the yarn. Hang the yarn on your left hand. Pick up the first motif with the right side facing you at the upper right corner of any side. Join the yarn in the chain space between the X-shaped TR. Start with 1 chain as your beginning chain. Work 1 single crochet into this chain space. Chain 3 as a spacer. Work 1 single crochet in the same chain space. Chain 3 as a spacer. Work 1 single crochet into the chain space on the left side. Now you're on this side. Work 1 single crochet in each chain space. Chain 3 in between. Finish crocheting this side. Now you've reached the corner again. In the corresponding chain space, work 2 single crochets. Between each single crochet, work 3 chains. This completes the corner. Continue following this method, and crochet all the way down to finish these 2 sides and this corner. Now, 3 sides have been completed. Work 3 more chains. Work 1 single crochet in this corner. And then work 3 chains. Continue to join the second motif. Take this motif. Align any side of this motif with the third side of the first motif. Place the 2 motifs with their wrong sides facing each other. Align the corners. The right side of the second motif should face you. Start from the right side. In the chain space at the corner, work 1 single crochet. Pay attention. Do not twist the chains. This will complete the corner joining. Next, join this side. When working, join to the chain spaces of the back piece. Start with 1 chain. In the corresponding chain space of the back piece, work 1 single crochet. Then make 1 chain. Go back to the front piece. In the adjacent chain space on the left side, work 1 single crochet. Continue with 1 chain. In the corresponding chain space of the back piece, work 1 single crochet. Make 1 chain. Go back to the front piece. In the chain space on the left side, work 1 single crochet. You can take a look at the crocheting method for this side of the second motif is identical to the side of the first motif. Work 1 single crochet in each chain space. The only difference is that there were originally 3 chains between 2 single crochets, but here we replace the middle 1 chain with 1 single crochet, then join to the first motif. Continue all the way down following this method to finish crocheting this side. When you reach the corner, work 1 single crochet in the chain space. Then make 1 chain at the corresponding corner chain space of the back piece. Work 1 single crochet, followed by 1 chain. Go back to the corner of the front piece and work 1 single crochet. This way, this side and corner for the second motif are joined. Continue following the same method used for the first motif to finish crocheting this side of the second motif. While crocheting, there's no need to join to the first motif. The method is relatively simple, so I won't demonstrate it. Now I have finished crocheting the second side of the second motif. First, work 1 single crochet in the chain space at the corner. Use 3 chains as a spacer. Start joining the third motif. Take this motif and align any side of this motif with the second side of the second motif. Place the wrong sides of both motifs facing each other. Align the corners and side. The right side of the third motif should face you. Work a single crochet in the chain space on the right corner of the third motif. Be mindful when crocheting. Make sure not to twist the chains. This completes the joining of the first corner. Next, work 1 chain for spacing on the back piece. Work 1 single crochet in the corresponding chain space. Then work 1 chain. The joining method for the side of the third motif is identical to that of the second motif. It consists of 1 chain, followed by 1 single crochet and a chain. Everyone can follow this same technique to finish crocheting this side, all the way to the corner. When you reach this position, continue by crocheting 1 single crochet on this corner. Then work 1 chain on the side of the joining single crochet, where the second motif connects to the first motif. Crochet 1 single crochet. Work 1 more chain. Go back to the corner of the third motif and crochet 1 single crochet. Then the side of the third motif is now joined to the second motif. Continue following the previous method for crocheting the sides and corners. Finish crocheting the third motif's 2 sides and this corner. While crocheting, there is no need to join to any other motifs. Now for the third motif. These 3 sides are already completed. At this corner, work 1 single crochet and 3 chains. Following the same method, join to the side of the fourth motif. Continue until just before the corner. Now we've reached this spot where this corner needs to be joined simultaneously to the third motif and the first motif. Start by working a single crochet at this corner of the fourth motif. Then, on the third motif, at this corner, work 1 single crochet and chain 1. Finally, on the first motif, at this corner, work 1 single crochet. Pay attention. Don't twist the piece. After completing, go back to the fourth motif. Work 1 single crochet at this corner. This way, these 3 motifs are joined. Continue following the previous joining method, and join the fourth motif and the first motif with this side and corner. After joining this corner, these 2 motifs will be joined together. Next, crochet all the end-joined sides of the motifs. Start by following the pattern of 3 chains and 1 single crochet. Crochet the remaining 2 sides of the 4th motif until you reach this corner. Now we've reached this position. Work 1 single crochet at this corner. Work 3 chains. On the chain space, where the 3rd motif connects to the 4th motif, make 1 single crochet. Then work 3 chains again. On the corner of the 3rd motif, make 1 single crochet. Continue working down following this method, and crochet all the remaining sides and corners of the motifs. Once everything is completed, join with a slip stitch to the starting single crochet. Pull tight. Fasten off normally. Hide the tails neatly. The motif joining is now complete. You can see that the sides of the 1st and 3rd motifs, along with the corners of the other 2 motifs, form the neckline. The other open end is the hem. Up to this point, the crocheting method for the main piece of this poncho has been fully explained. Next, we will crochet the edging for the poncho. Let's take a look at the finished product. Along the neckline of the poncho, crochet in rounds counterclockwise. No new stitches are used here. Please watch as I demonstrate the specific crocheting method. Take out the corresponding yarn. Here, I'll choose the colors randomly. At the neckline, pick any side of a motif. Join the yarn at the chain space on the far right. Make 1 chain as your beginning chain. Work 1 single crochet in this position. Weave in the yarn tail for joining as you go. Continue in this chain space, and work 1 single crochet. Then, in the adjacent chain space on the left, work 3 single crochets. Following the pattern of 2 single crochets, alternating with 3 single crochets, until you finish all the chain spaces along this side. Now we've reached the corner. At the chain space of this motif's corner, work 1 single crochet. On the corner of the motif on the left, work 2 single crochets. Then, at the corner of the left motif, work 1 single crochet. Continue following the pattern of 3 single crochets, alternating with 2 single crochets, to finish this side. When you reach the remaining corner, work about 3 single crochets evenly. Slip stitch to the first single crochet at the starting position. Tighten the yarn. R1 is now completed. Move on to crochet R2, chain 2 as a beginning chain. In the stitch below the beginning chain, work 1 double crochet. Skip 2 stitches. And in the third stitch on the left side, work 1 slip stitch. Chain 2. Then in the same stitch, work 1 double crochet. Next, in the third stitch on the left side, work 1 slip stitch. Let's take a look at the piece. Treat these 2 chains, 1 double crochet and 1 slip stitch, as one group. For this round, it is simply repeating this group. Continue following this pattern to complete the round. The last slip stitch of the final motif should go into the insertion point of the first shell pattern's double crochet. Then chain 1 to secure. Fasten off normally. Hide the tails by yourself. The edging is now complete. Next, attach tassels to the poncho's hem. Cut 2 strands of yarn about 28 centimeters long. Place them together. Then fold in half. With the right side of the poncho facing you, and the hem pointing downward, choose any large chain space. Insert the folded loop through it. Then pass the ends through this loop. Pull the loop tight. This way, 1 tassel is attached. When attaching the tassels, make sure the direction of inserting the loops is the same. This ensures the tassels have an identical shape. Let's attach another one. Cut 2 yarn tails about 28 centimeters long. Hold them together, fold in half. Insert into the desired position. Then pass the ends through this loop. And pull it tight. This way, another tassel is attached. Continue using this method. And attach a tassel to every large chain space on the hem. It's relatively easy. I won't continue with the demonstration. Up to this point, the making method of this poncho has been fully explained. If you have any questions during the process, don't hesitate to reach us via our website, Susan's Family, supporting your handwork experience. Enjoy the joy of life. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode.